Hello everyone, my name is Wencong Xie, and my majors are mathematics and applied statistics. I'm from Purdue University. The research topic is the undergraduate research mentoring during COVID-19. So here, let me give you guys a brief introduction of my research. Due to the campus closures, most undergraduate research students, however, had to just shift from in-person to virtual mentoring. And take me as an example, since the second half of the semester of my freshman year, when COVID-19 is just starting, all my courses have been transferred from offline to online. The switch in communication had both positive and negative effects. Many undergraduate mentees and graduate mentors felt that their relationships improve in a virtual mentoring environment. And this is, in common case, face-to-face communication is more efficient than the telephone and video. However, video calls can also free the researchers from geographical constraints. Even if everyone in the team is in a different time zone or a different place to work, they can still meet at a point in a time and start a meeting by some meetings like Zoom and WebEx. Successful virtual research mentorships use the communication modalities effectively and emphasize a holistic research approach that values all laboratory research activities. So in this time, my current research goal is to investigate the impact of COVID-19 restriction on undergraduate research mentoring. And the main research question is there a relationship between frequency of mentor-mentee communication and the impact of COVID-19 restriction on mentorship of support towards undergraduate research? So for the method, I mainly use the current software I use in this research is not as complicated. I am using the IBM SPSS engine, which is a software that can provide statistical graphs and statistical data summaries. We use the COVID-19 dataset at Purdue sent out by the undergraduate researchers between December 2020 and January 2021. We mainly focus on the impact of COVID-19 on mentoring. Due to the various constraints, we got 206 undergraduate students to respond to our survey. So the following is the survey page. The first question is, which of the following frequencies best indicates how often you typically communicate with your mentor? We have 4 categories for students to choose from, and we set a comparison among them from the time of before March 15th and after March 15th, start to compare. The second question is, based on your experience with your mentors, please indicate how COVID-19 restrictions impacted each type of support from your mentor. So according to the summary of the second survey, I made the relevant statistical tables by analyzing this data. And these themes are providing constructive feedback, employing strategies to improve communication with me, working with me to set clear expectations of a mentoring relationship, employing strategies to enhance my understanding of the research, and acknowledging my professional contribution. These 5 themes are chosen from a big data set. I choose the most representative one from the 100 themes in our survey. So here's my analysis of this data. In the analysis part, we use the chi-square test of independence. We use the model for the following reasons. First, in the entire survey, The variables of interest in the survey are categorical. And second, all the frequencies are recorded. We propose the hypothesis below in the PowerPoint. So the H0 is that there's no relationship between the frequency of mentor-mentee communication and the impact of COVID-19 restriction on mentorship support. The H1 is there is a relationship between frequency of mentor-mentee communication and the impact of COVID-19 restriction on mentorship support. So here's my chi-square test of this research. We got 5 test results about chi-square. So here are the first one and second one. Here are the third one, the fourth one, and the fifth one. We sorted and summarized the data of these 5 chi-squares. Since the significance of each type of data, as you can see, is 0.05. It is much larger than the level of significance. The 0.54 is larger than 0.05, and 0.173, 0.8, that is pretty larger from 0.05. That is, the p-value is much larger than the normal value. So here's our result of this. The whole 5 groups of data indicate that their p-values are much greater than the level of significance of our data. That means the test is not significant. We should just accept the H0, which is the null hypothesis, which means there's no relationship between frequency of mentor-mentee communication and the impact of COVID-19 restriction on all 5 forms of mentor support. So when doing the whole experiment and research, I was pretty surprised by the result because this is somewhat different from our common sense in our life. So I'm thinking about why I came to such a conclusion. So first, because of the sample size is between 100 to 120, which is pretty small, the result of the survey cannot support the whole Purdue University group. Second, we should just invite more undergraduate students, which is a method of enlarging the sample size to just emphasize our survey and just let our survey sample be more. And third, the sample, which is the undergraduate research, is a special group. Those who volunteer to respond to the variables of interest are those people who are willing to keep the research contacting frequency stable, no matter how the outside environment change. So thank you very much. Thank you for listening to my presentation.